Greetings, one and all. This is Big Polly coming to you on the evening of January 13, 2022. The game has been out a little while, the Action PC Baseball 2020, but this is my first look at it. I bought it today. And we are going to put together a little exhibition game. The last two Major League champions, those teams being, of course, the LA Dodgers of 2020 and Atlanta of 2021. Played around with it this morning. The game looks very similar to Action PC 2021. Not a lot of differences that I was able to see right away. I'm just going to pick a random date. We'll pick June 1st for this. And we'll make it a night game at Truist Park in Cobb County in Atlanta, Georgia. And we'll get it started. And game display. I'll manage the Atlanta Braves, and we'll let the computer manage the LA Dodgers of 2020. Take the last two champions and put them together. And we'll put the computer lineup together. Max Fried will be the starter for Atlanta. And I don't know who LA will start, but we'll see. Everybody's available, so we see a lot of substitutions later on. It's going to be like a spring training game, but it'll be fun to show you all. Max Fried, Max Reed, whatever you want to call them. And off we go. The lineups for LA: Turner at third base. He leads off. Seeger, the shortstop. He hits second. Smith catching, batting third. Pollock in left field, batting fourth. Mookie Betts in right, batting fifth. Max Muncy is at first base, batting sixth. Bellinger in center. He hits seventh. Hernandez is at second base, batting eighth. Kershaw is the pitcher. He will bat ninth. We will use pitchers hitting in this game because it's a National League game. And defensively for Atlanta, Rosario is a 6 and a 6 in left. 6 range, 6 arm. Duvall a 6 and a 10 in center. Acuna 7 in right. I do not know what his arm is. Maybe it's an 8 arm. Riley a 7 at third. Swanson a 7 at shortstop. Albiez is a 7 at second. Freeman a 10 at first. Travis Darnod is a 6 with a 1 arm. So LA should be able to run on him. He's catching. And Fried is a 10 pitching. His season stats for 2021 were 14 and 7, 165 and 2/3 innings pitched. Gave up 139 hits. His whip was 1.087. The opposing batting average 227. Now, this will be a little skewed because, of course, in 2020, they only played 60 games in the regular season and had an expanded playoff tournament. So we'll take a look at this. If anybody could figure out, if you watch Uncle Ron Jucket's games, there is usually a box of probability that would be over where Max Fried's stats are. If anybody could figure out how to turn that on, I'd be very grateful. So Turner leading off, and we'll see what Fried could do against him. That's a K. Sit down. 1 out in the LA first. And for some reason, it went back to the standing screen. Okay. Corey Seeger, in 2020, he hit 307 and 212 at bats. And his OPS was 943. Another strike, and Fried has back-to-back Ks. Will Smith, don't confuse him with the famous actor. He catches, and he hits third in this hypothetical lineup. Grounded to third, Riley over to Freeman, 5-3. And LA went quietly in the first. So we'll do the lineups for Atlanta. Acuna Jr. in right. He leads off. Albiez at second base. He is the number 2 hitter. Freeman in that 3 spot. He plays first. Riley cleans up. He bats. He hits fourth and is at third base. Duvall is at center field. Well, I was saying catching. I'm looking at Travis Darnod already. Duvall hits fifth. Hitting sixth is Travis Darnod. He's the catcher. Swanson at shortstop. He hit seventh. Rosario in left, batting eighth. And Freed, the pitcher, bats ninth. Defensively, for LA, Pollock is a 5 and a 3 in left. Bellinger a 9 in center field. Let me get his arm rating. That's an 8. Betts is a 10 and a 9 in right field. Turner is a 7 at third. Seeger also a 7. Kike Hernandez is a 10, but he could play a whole bunch of positions. Max Muncy is a 6 at first. Smith, a 5 with only a 2 arm. And Kershaw is a 5. In 2020, Kershaw went 58 in the third innings, went 6 and 2. His ERA was 2.16. His WHIP was 8.40, and his opposing batting average 194. So Acuna is going to lead off, and that's a K. So both pitchers on point so far in this first inning. Albiez will hit second. And that's hit to center. Bellinger, a can of corn for him, and that's the second out. Freddie Freeman, 300. OPS of 896 in 2021. Grounder, Muncy will take it to the bag unassisted, side retired. At the end of an inning, we have no score. Now, I got the game this morning, so I'm assuming that the patch that I heard Uncle Ron talk about in a game that he did a couple of days ago doesn't need to be applied because it should be already on there. Pollock leads off for the Dodgers in the second, 276. Hit 16 homers in 60 games. His OPS 980. Grounder, Freed scoops it up, throws to Freeman for the first out in the second. Now that's a new sound effect, the cry of hot dogs, but there you go. And Mookie Betts, with his 928 OPS, he's up to the plate. Hit the left, and Rosario should get to that, and he does for the second out. This is a casual game. We're just having fun with it. No roster limitations or anything like that. Anybody who played for the Dodgers, anybody who played for the Braves in 2020, 2021, respectively, could play in this game. Muncy, 192, but his OPS was 720, so he's got power. And Freeman, with a great play, throws over to Freed for the third out of the second inning for the Dodgers. End of an inning and a half, no score. In fact, zeros all across. Austin Riley stepping up, 303 with an 898 OPS. And that's hit well to left, and it is gone. Austin Riley will touch them all, and Atlanta has taken a 1-0 lead. Brings up Adam Duvall, the center fielder. In 2021, he hit 226, but his OPS, again, pretty... Well, he'll pack a wallop with his bat because his OPS is 800. And this is hit well to left. Pollock looking up, and that is gone. Back-to-back homers for Atlanta, and they now have a 2-0 lead. Travis Darnod, no stranger to hitting for power himself, as evidence when he played for the Rays in 2020, 672 OPS. That's going to drop for a base hit in between Seeger and Pollock. So Darnod is aboard. Swanson, the 7-hitter, we'll treat it like a regular season game, but we're going to have a lot of substitutions probably. Dansby Swanson, 248 with a 760 OPS. That's skied to left. Will Pollock get to it? He can, and that is out number 1, finally. And I'm not going to advance the runner because Darnod is piano legs. Rosario 271 with a 903 OPS. Hit well. Bellinger coming in hard makes the play. 2 outs now. The pitcher, Fried, will be up. Yes, I know I'm gonna have him bat. 2 outs, not a bunt situation, so I'm just gonna have him swing away. Hit well to right, but Betts will get to it. Side retired. Atlanta picks up 2 in their second, so we go to the third. Atlanta up 2-0. Fried, by the way, can go 120 pitches. Kershaw can go 95. Fried is at 26 pitches through 2 innings. Cody Bellinger up 239 and a 788. Skied to right field, and that is gone. Bellinger. We've had our third solo blast of the game. That was hit well to right. And you could tell that one goodbye. John Fogerty, center field. 2-1 in favor of the Braves after that blast. Kike Hernandez up 230 and a 680. Albiez over to Freeman 4-3, and that is the second out. Clayton Kershaw will hit, and Fried will pitch to him. That's a called strike 3, and Atlanta gets out of the third with only giving up that 1 run. So we go to the bottom of the third, 2-1 Atlanta. Turner, as LA goes through the lineup a second time, Atlanta will also be going through the lineup a second time. Justin Turner at third base. And you know what? I screwed up. As I was wont to do when I did the HTBL, I thought we had the third out. We did not. Justin Turner is up. Sorry about that, folks. We have 2 outs, not 3. Now we have 3 outs. And we go now to the bottom of the third. Finally, it's 2-1 Atlanta. Acuna Jr. is 0 for 1. Skied to center. Bellinger should get to it. He does. 1 out. Albiez is up 0 for 1. And this is hit to center. Bellinger keeping busy. He makes the put out there. And there's 2 gone. Freddie Freeman 0 for 1. Grounder to Turner, over to Muncy, and that should be an out, and it is. So a very quick 1-2-3 inning for Atlanta in the third. We'll go to the fourth. Scores 2-1 in favor of the Atlanta Braves. And you kind of wonder how long they will be the Atlanta Braves. Of course, they're winning, so no one's going to be in a hurry to change their name. Of course, Cleveland this year will be playing as the Guardians and not the Indians. I would think that a good name for Atlanta, should they need an alternate name, would be the Hammers and honor Henry Aaron that way, who passed away in 2021. Seeger up again for LA. Both teams now going through the lineup a second time. Fried delivers. Grounder to Swanson. Over to Freeman, 6-3, and there's 1 out. Will Smith, 289. OPS was outstanding at 980. Grounder to Riley, over to Freeman, 5-3 on that putout, and there is 2 outs now. A.J. Pollock, left fielder, 0 for 1. Riley to Freeman, and he bobbled it. It was an error on the play, and Pollock will move to second base on the E3. We assume it was an E3. Could have been an error on the throw. Will the game tell me who made the error? Error? Okay, we'll just leave that alone for now. Betts, 0 for 1, and that's ball 4. So danger here for Atlanta. 2 outs, top of the fourth. For Max Muncy, he was 0 for 1. And that's a K. And Fried gets out of the fourth inning. After 3.5, it's 2-1 Atlanta. Riley stepping in 1 for 1 with a homer. He and Duvall hit back-to-back home runs in the second inning. And this is going to be a base hit, so Riley goes 2 for 2. And despite the poor arms each catcher has, these guys aren't a threat to run. Duvall stepping in, he's 1 for 1. Ball 4, so Atlanta has something going in the fourth. Now, Darnod is not a great bunter, but he can hit and run. We'll take a pitch here. Okay. Now we'll try to hit and run. And Riley is out at third as Darnod could not connect on that. Duvall moves to second. And with that, it's an 0-2 count to Darnod with 1 out. Hit well to center. Bellinger will make the play. Duvall advances to third. Considering how deep the fly was, that's not surprising. So Swanson up. He's the last chance for Atlanta in the fourth. Strike 3 called. And we go to the fifth inning with the score 2-1. So far, Fried in this game, 4 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 homer, a walk, and 5 Ks. He's at 67 pitches, and he can go 120. Bellinger, 1 for 1. He's up for the Dodgers. Slow grounder to third. Riley, going to be a close play at first, and he's out. So score that 5-3. And we had an instant replay ruling on the field stands. Okay. Kike Hernandez is 0 for 1. That's a K. And we're going back down to Clayton Kershaw, who didn't hit in 2020 because the NL used the DH. And that was a fly to the right fielder, which would, on the Atlanta Braves, would be Acuna Jr. So nothing for the Dodgers in the top of the fifth. We go to the bottom of inning 5, Atlanta over LA, 2-1. Starting in April, we're going to do the 1977 season here on Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims, Lord willing, and if the creek doesn't rise. Great year for baseball, the year Reggie Jackson became a New York Yankee for the first time. And, of course, he had that 3-homer game in Game 6 of the World Series against the Dodgers. We also have the Phillies, who are a very good team, and the Kansas City Royals. So that ought to be a good season to do. What we will probably do, don't hold me to this, is we'll do the Sunday and Monday games like prime time, and we'll sim the rest of the weeks, and we'll try to get the season done quickly. Probably be in the neighborhood of 50 to 52 games, and we'll do all the playoff games. So that's the working plan. So check back with me in April. And if the big D hasn't slowed me down anymore, we're going to do the 1977 season. I know Uncle Ron did 78, but I think 77 is a bit more compelling, considering how Reggie Jackson was able to make an impact on the New York Yankees. So Rosario steps in, number 8 hitter. He is 0 for 1 so far in this game. Grounder, Muncy, 1 out. Takes it to the bag unassisted. Fried will hit. Fried only had 1 at bat no, actually, I take that back. I'm looking at the wrong column. In real life, he hit 273. Yeah, I'm gonna let him go to the plate here. Grounder to third, Turner, Muncy, 2 outs. And that'll bring up Acuna Jr., who is 0 for 2, is Atlanta now batting around a third time, as is Los Angeles. Hit well to left. Pollock gets to it, and the side retired for Atlanta. We go to the 6th. Los Angeles trailing Atlanta 2-1. And not a lot of hitting going on in this game. The Dodgers have that 1 hit off the home run, which was hit by Bellinger, and Atlanta had back-to-back home runs, had a couple of other hits beyond that. Turner is 0 for 2, Justin Turner, and that's ball 4. And he is a good base runner, so we're going to try to pick him off. Okay. Keep him honest once. Corey Seeger is 0 for 2. Runner going, and he's out. A caught stealing for Seeger, and that is so Seeger was the batter. It was Turner who was running, and that's now one out. Now Fried has a 2-2 delivery to Seeger, and Acuna Jr. with a play at the warning track, and there are 2 outs in the Los Angeles 6th inning. Will Smith is 0 for 2. He hits it to center. Duvall coming in hard makes the grab. So the side retired for the Dodgers. They have been just been held to that 1 run so far. Both teams have left 2 on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 2-1. This is a good alternative to OOTP. OOTP lets you do everything but the kitchen sink, and of course they'll have OOTP 23 coming out in a couple of months, and we'll look at that game when it comes out. But I wanted to do some more game reviews. That was one of my goals now that I'm back with you all. Albiez is 0 for 2, and Kershaw is still in the game. He has pitched 74 pitches. And in 5 innings, he has given up 4 hits, 2 homers, a walk, and 2 Ks. And that's right to Turner for the first out. Freddie Freeman stepping up. He is 0 for 2 in this game. Ball 4. The cleanup hitter for Atlanta, Austin Riley, has had a good game. He is 2 for 2. That's ball 4. Now, what if the player strike that's going on right now, or the lockout, or whatever it is you want to call it, the thing that would keep, when we have a new pitcher, by the way, coming in the game, Victor Gonzalez. Now, if we have a situation where the the work stoppage is still going on, I'd be very tempted to get the 2022 projection disc Dave Koch Sports would come out with and play that. So don't hold me on 1977, but that is the current plan. So Victor Gonzalez, a lefty, has stepped in, 133 ERA, 20 and a third innings pitched. Whip very good at 738 and his opposing batting average 176. 1 out, bottom of the 6th, and Duvall, it's going to get by the catcher, and Freeman and Riley each move up. Now it's runners at third and second and third with 1 out. So a good scoring chance here for Atlanta. Oh, but Gonzalez finds the strike zone, a strikeout. He had 23 Ks in 20 and a third innings in his real life 2020 appearances. Travis Darnod is 1 for 2. Skied to center. Bellinger will make the putout. And there were 2 outs coming into that, so Atlanta will just have to have nothing and like it. 7th inning, your score now 2-1 in favor of Atlanta. Fried is still in there. He's at 85 pitches. This might be his last inning of work. A.J. Pollock is 0 for 2, and that's a K. Fried has had 7 Ks. I don't know if it's Fried or Fried. I think it might be Fried, like Alan Freed, the DJ of the 1950s who got caught in that payola scandal. Mookie Betts is 0 for 1. Grounded to third. Riley Freeman out. Score that 5-3. And we go back to Max Muncy, who did not have a good year in 2020. His OPS was 720, but he only hit 192. And speak of the danger, Edwin Rios will come in. Now, Edwin hit 250 in his 76 2020 at-bats, and his OPS is 946. And that's hit well. Might be too well. It is gone. A home run for Rios. His name is Rios, and he dances on the sand, and we have a dead even game at 2-2. Reed is now at 100 pitches. We're going to try to give him one more chance to get out of the seventh. Bellinger, grounder to Freeman. Stretch time. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Root for the Bravos. If they don't win, it's a shame. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Bump, 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 bump. Okay, folks. Who else would sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game in the bottom of the seventh here on YouTube? So we go back to Dansby Swanson. Gonzalez is still in there for Atlanta. And we'll probably see a pitch hitter for Freed once we get to that position because it's a 7, 8, and 9 hitters for Atlanta. Swanson is 0 for 2. Grounder to Rios, who is now taken over at first base for the first out. I don't see any other replacements. Rosario up 0 for 2. Seeger, Rios, 2 out. And now it's pinch hitting time as Freed is up. And we ask the question, who can hit a lefty? And we're going to go with Jock Peterson, the former Dodger. You got to love a guy named Jock. So 2 outs. And it hit him. It hit him. HBP. So Peterson will move to first base. Acuna Jr. stepping up 0 for 3. And Seeger over the Rios. And that's the retirement of the side for Atlanta in the bottom of the seventh inning. We are dead even at 2-2. So who do we put in? Pray tell. We're going to put Luke Jackson in. And we'll put him in the 9 hole. Jackson was 198 with 63 and 2/3 innings pitched. Walked 29, but struck out 70. His whip is 1.162. His opposing batting average, 199. So Hernandez up 0 for 2. Strike 3 called. That brings up Victor Gonzalez. Are they going to leave him in? Matt Beatty. Beatty, 220 on the year in 2020. Went 11 for 50. His OPS is 638. That's a K. So Luke Jackson has done well. That'll bring up Justin Turner. Turner is 0 for 2. And Jackson with some strikeouts. Jake McGee in for Jake McGee, the former Ray, in for Los Angeles. Now, if you have children, cover their ears. When Jake McGee played for the Rays, his nickname was Tits. Tits. Okay, you can uncover your children's ears now. Albies is 0 for 3 on the day. Grounder to third. Turner to Rios for the first out. 2-2, bottom of the eighth. All the runs were scored on solo shots, solo home runs. Freeman, 0 for 2, looking to change that. And that's going to be a base hit to center. Freeman legged out a double on all of that. So a runner at second with 1 out for Austin Riley, who is 2 for 2 on the day. And that's a K. And Duvall will be the last chance for Atlanta in the eighth. And he strikes out. Jackson appears to be tiring I am told. So we'll bring in a new pitcher. It's going to be lefty, righty, righty for the Dodgers. Next three batters. We're going to go with Chavez. I'd like to get Chavez in there. Jesse Chavez. And we will go to him. Chavez could also start. 33 and 2/3 innings pitched in 2021, 11 walks, 36 Ks, went 3-2, a 2.14 ERA. His batting average, opposing batting average, 192, and his WHIP was 10-10. 10-10 wins. How you doing, Al Red Sox fan? Thought I'd give the Action PC a look for myself. Seeger 0 for 3. Grounder up the middle, albeit over to Freeman, and that's the first out in the ninth inning. I wonder how many extra innings we may go. Or will this game end in 9? Who knows? Will Smith, 0 for 3. 2020 Dodgers and the 2021 Braves, last two World Series champions, and a foul ball. Darnod could not get to that one. Count 0-2. That's hit well to left. Rosario is looking up and watching it go. Smith with a home run. All the runs in this game have been solo shots, and that continues with Smith's home run. It's 3-2. So now Atlanta will have to get it going in the bottom of the ninth. Pollock stepping up, 0 for 3. Oh! Chris Taylor, the pinch hitter, 270. 185 at bats in 2020. Remember, they played 60 games in 2020. 842 is the opposing the on base plus slugging average, which I always like to look at. I always like to look at OPS, and I always like to look at WHIP. Grounder, a base hit to right center. That found the gap. Taylor going for 3, and he's in there with a triple. Now, Chavez can go a few more pitches, but I'm going to bring infield in. You know you can also press I to change the infield depth. We're going to go infield in here, try to cut off a run. Mookie Betts 0 for 2. That's skied to left center, and that's off the wall. Rosario throws to third, and we have back-to-back triples, and the Dodgers pouring it on, leading 4-2 in the top of the ninth. So now I got to make a change, I think. We got Rios up. And we're going to put Santana in the game. Okay. Yes, that's Santana. Okay. And we'll have him hit the 9 hole. Okay, same situation. You got to bring the infield in. The pitch. And a base hit, and that goes all the way to the wall. Rios with a double. Back to back to back extra base hits for the Dodgers, and they now lead 5-2. Bellinger is 1 for 3. Skied to right. Acuna makes the grab. And will Rios advance to third? Here's the throw. Save. So now with 2 outs, you could just play normal for Kike Hernandez. And that's a base hit. 6-2. So the Dodgers have blown the game wide open here in the ninth. McGee, will he hit? Oh, no. Now, Jock played on both the 2020 Dodgers and the 2021 Braves. So he just pitched hit for Atlanta, and now he's going to pinch hit for the Dodgers. Make up your mind, Jock. Skied to right. Can Acuna get to this? Yes, he can. And mercifully, the inning is over for the Braves, and Dennis Santana is now pitching. LA got 4 runs in the ninth. They lead 6-2. Darnod 1 for 3. He strikes out. Swanson stepping up. He is 0 for 3. And will Turner get to that? No. Foul ball. 2-2 the count now to Swanson, and that's a K. Rosario is 0 for 3. Skied, and this should be it. Taylor with the putout, and the game is over. LA wins 6-2. They get 4 in the ninth, and that's it. MVP. We have an MVP in the game. Well, we got to look at the bottom of the screen if I remember. If I remember my Action PC baseball correctly, they don't give an MVP. I think it might be Will Smith for busting the game open in the ninth. So Kershaw, it'll actually be McGee getting the win, and your losing pitcher was who? Okay, was it Jackson? No, it was Chavez because there's no comma between Chavez and L. So Chavez the loser, McGee the winner, and the Atlanta Braves go down to defeat 6-2. So I hope you enjoyed my little look at Action PC Baseball 2022. I think it's a good game. I think if you aren't a fan of Strat or APBA or the computer versions of those games where you have to spend a lot of money to update it every year, I think Action PC is a perfect fit. The plan is to do the 1977 season once we get to April. But if there is still a lockout going on, I might just do 2022 with the projection disc. See what we got here from Al. Go under MISC tab for player of the game. MIS tab for player. Well, too late now. But I would give it to Will Smith for hitting that home run to give Atlanta Excedrin headaches. 3-2 gave it LA a 3-2 lead, and then they poured it on in the ninth. This is a very good game. I totally agree, Al. I totally agree that it's a good game. Probably Action PC, whether it's golf. I have golf, football, baseball. I used to have basketball. I might want to update that real soon. Action PC hockey I have never played. So I've played 4 of the 5 games that Action PC has. And they don't put out a bad game. The golf game I probably enjoy the most. Football, we use the HDFL with that. And the baseball game is pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. A lot of attention to detail. You could get a lot of add-ons at I'm going to give you the name of the site that I go get my add-ons, and some of you have add-ons. Just give me a moment, folks. Kind of hard to see in the dark when you have my set of eyes. And we'll look for the C here. It's Action PC Sports Community, APC sportscommunity.com, APC, and then you spell out sportscommunity.com, and that's where I get my add-ons. If you are a fan of Action PC Golf, hello, Super Bowl tournament. Just about ready to wind it down here. We could chat for a little bit. Great thing about that community that I was just mentioning, and we'll rewind the stream about 15-30 seconds, and you'll have the name of the URL. A red Solo cup with green tea in it. The great thing about that community is you play Action PC Golf, and they will give you a truckload of golf courses For instance, the golf course, the top flight golf course that's closest to me is Bardmore here in Seminole. Now that I've moved from Pinellas Park to Seminole, and they have that course, the Bardmore course, because it used to be used at the end of the year for the mixed team classic. Like they'd have a male and a female golfer, like a golfer from the PGA and a golfer from the LPGA, and they would be a team. And they had that tournament here for many a year. And after about the late 80s or so, they haven't played that tournament. But Bardmore is a good course on the game. Another local course here is Innisbrook, which is up in Palm Harbor. Palm Harbor is about 15 miles as the crow flies north of me. So that'll do it for this episode. I was on with Rob earlier, asked a question of the gentleman he had on from Play. And again, my mind has gone blank thinking of who he is. Now, if you'll hold on a moment, Keith Avalon was the fellow we were talking of, Play.com. And those Play.com games, I've never played one, but the thing about those games is it's not just numbers. If you are not a number cruncher, and there are some people out there like that, you know, there's a logic tree in that game. That's very, very good. History Maker Golf, History Maker Baseball, and not all the questions are number crunching. So I think that will bring younger fans to sports gaming. Uh, and I was a young man when I entered the realm of sports gaming. I played Sherco Grand Slam baseball in I want to say either '86 or '87, and that was my induction to sports board gaming. And the kids at my high school would talk about Pursue the Pennant, and I eventually wound up getting Pursue the Pennant. But that was probably after I went to high school, 1990, 1991 or so, when I was working in radio. Um, so, if anybody has anything else to say, now would be the time. I know Rob's streaming right now, but I want to make a habit of when I get games showing them off for you. Um, Next month I'm going to get Legends of Boxing. I want to get that. I know Al loves that because I see him playing that all the time. Legends of Boxing, and that looks like a very very good game. And I love it when people put their games up, they're playing the games because that way it draws people to those games. People learn the mechanics of those games, and you know, I think it enhances the experience for everybody. Mm. It's weird for there nothing to be going on tonight, Thursday night. Watched an amazing race from last night a little earlier, and they started filming this season with in 2020, and then they got smacked into the COVID problem, and then they show them all coming back at Switzerland in a few months ago, 19 months later, they said. So so they shot it like in the fall of 2021. Love Amazing Race. Now that I have my little YouTube TV and the DVR that comes with it, I'm going to try to catch as much as that as possible. Even though I have Paramount Plus as a streaming service, definitely want to partake in watching some Amazing Race. Very fun game, Legends of Boxing, but I like all gaming companies horrible about telling you when there is an update. Yeah, they just had a patch come out with that, right? Right, Al? Some companies are good with the updates, like OOTP. The minute they have the update, you know about it. Dave Koch could be a little better about it. I know they just had a patch for the baseball game, but they all, I get all their email. I get all of Dave Koch's email, and Sometimes they don't tell you about the updates, and sometimes it's not top of mind because they might put it in your email and you might forget it after 2 or 3 months. Like when I started doing action PC football again when I came back from the hospital, I forgot. Oh yeah, they did an update back in the fall last year, so I updated action PC before I restarted doing the HDFL. So let's see. What do you have you say here? I'm looking at you on another monitor that I usually don't. No, they don't, and that pisses me off. Yeah, yeah. But some games, the odds of the game crashing are pretty good, and with some games, the odds of a game crashing aren't all that good. Like for instance, I've had very few issues with OOTP, but sometimes with the action PC game, that does happen. Uh, like I've had it happen. I had it happen during the HTFL season last year, where we're at a critical moment of the game, and all of a sudden it crashes. Uh, you're quite right about that, Al. Very true indeed. What else do I have in mind? Yeah, I was very surprised about the lockout still going on, or the player stoppage, work stoppage, whatever you want to call it. OOTP, I had very few issues. I agree, and that's why I like to show off Perfect Team, because Perfect Team almost has no issues uh, with the game. The so I have an older computer. I have a 2011 Dell, and it gets. I don't have when the Dell came out in 2011. The DirectX mechanism stops at a certain point, so I can't really play the games real well that are just new if it's graphical. That's why I like playing these computer sports board games, uh, because you're never going to have an instance. Well, probably not for a few more years for me. Of the game being, the graphics card needing to be updated. Okay. Okay, Al, I thought you said something else. What else is going on in the world that I can think of and talk about? Yeah, I'm surprised the players and the owners haven't come to a deal. I hope they do. I think the last thing baseball needs right now, the way the sports economy is another work stoppage. So I hope everything gets resolved by the time spring training starts, which will probably be by the time the Super Bowl is played. Um, so football is staying relevant because they now have a franchise in Las Vegas, and you see all the commercials during the NFL games for Caesars Sportsbook and BetMGM and all of that. So they're tapping into that gambling money. Baseball really, I don't really think has found a way. They were starting to do it in the postseason, I think, but they really haven't found the way yet to tap into the Vegas money. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think by the end of the decade, I think Vegas gets a Major League Baseball team. Probably be somebody else's. Oh, I brought that up again. Sorry, Al. I think Vegas will get a Major League Baseball franchise. They're talking to the A's. They might wind up getting two franchises from Oakland. Of course, the Oakland Coliseum's not all that good shape. Vegas might wind up getting the A's. They're looking for a site in Las Vegas for a ballpark. I know they were looking at a few sites. Hopefully, they won't make the mistake they did with Allegiant Stadium and where they built that, because there's like minimal parking there, and they're going to play a Super Bowl there in a couple of years, 2024. So I hope when they build the ballpark in Vegas, it's something spacious
and there'll be a lot of parking for all the fans there. That would be a great location for a baseball team because you have all these other, the hockey, the NHL team has done well. Football, the Raiders have been doing well. I think Major League Baseball team, even in the middle of summer, I think will be a very good investment for that area. Take care, Paulie. I gotta go. Thank you, Al. Thank you for dropping in. I'm gonna get on out of here too. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. Thanks for Al and Super Bowl tournament for stopping by. I know Al probably will have a project or two this evening, knowing him. Uh, so that'll be it for Action PC Baseball 2022, a first look. You like Action PC Baseball? Go catch Uncle Ron's series. He's doing, what year is he doing? 1985 on Twitch, and then the games are shown on YouTube 24 hours later. Uh, 85 was a good season. You had the Cardinals and the Royals winding up in an all Missouri series, but the Blue Jays had a good year. The Mets had a good year. They just missed the playoffs. That was back when only the division winners made it. And 85, the Dodgers also had a very, very good team. So we'll get on out of here. This has been Big Polly. Wishing you well. Godspeed and God bless. And we'll do it all again soon. Go check my videos from earlier today. Bye bye for now, everybody.